How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop, where I have the bench in place and computer stations all set up here, ready to go, and I got a little cubby up here for my screws and so on. And it's looking really nice. Lots of room here. It's nice and clear and open and easily accessible. But boys, oh boys, the rest of the shop. You can't even get through the rest of the shop with a GPS. I'm telling you, she's packed in there some tight. So what we're up to today is we're going to start organizing this bench so I can start getting some of the stuff from the other side put back over here where it belongs. So in order to get materials that I have stuffed on the other side of the shop back in here where it belongs, I decided before I do that, I'm going to make some changes to my bench. The bench, it's like I've said many times, I love the bench. It's solid, it's good and sturdy and everything like that, but there's things about it I don't like. First of all, these vertical sliders, although they were, not bad, they're not the best use of space. So I'm going to take that whole cabinet out after spending a bunch of time putting it back together, but I'm going to take it all out. And then we're going to see about changing this bottom rail 2x4 here, because like I was saying different times, when I'm sweeping, the brush gets caught under there, so I'm going to change that and make a little bit more clearance for sweeping. A bunch of changes coming up in the bench to make storage better. Okay, so I got the screws all taken out of this. I need to get these top guides out for these that were there for the vertical sliders, so I'll work on that. Okay, I've got this cubicle cleared out, and the rest of them not yet, but there's not much to do there I don't think. Just find spots to put the pile of stuff that's in those cubicles. But anyway, I want to turn my attention to this stringer down here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is take this stringer off, and I'm going to turn it flat and then cut some notches in it. I'll have to cut some notches, go around the legs, and then set it back in place. It'll give me more clearance between the floor and the bottom of the stringer, about another 1.5 inches or so. Plus it's even going to make this opening larger. So I think this is going to be a win-win. What I'm trying to do here, the reason for all this is I want to get the cabinet, the base cabinet here, all fixed up and dressed the way it's going to be before I start to put the drawers in, so that I'll know exact measurements and dimensions and so on to make either the drawer dividers and the drawers themselves. So yeah, a lot of prep work for the project, but that's what happens, I guess, with most any projects. Before I take that stringer off, I'm going to set my square here and just mark where I need to cut the notch. So there'll be a notch there. Don't have to do that one, it's already marked there. And here, it's going to be tricky because I have to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to cut 6 of those notches. Then I have to get them to fit back in straight and square and true. Yeah. All right, so I managed to get this front stringer off the bench, and I stripped out everything except this filing cabinet. I'll get that in a minute. My big concern is when I put this stringer back in place, I want to make sure all the cubicles are still squares. So I checked before I took the stringer off, and they were all square except the end one. The end one, the leg has to go out about 1/8 of an inch. So I can do that when I'm putting this stringer back in place. So I'm set up here with my marks, and I have to cut, just eliminate those marks. And I want to, I have my 2x4 set up here to try to make it a little bit extra sturdy. Let's go, see how I make up. Eliminate the line, just cut to the left edge of it. So I didn't do too good because I can still see my mark. So we're going to see if I can do this one any better. I think that was better, but anyways, we're going to see how we make out there. So there's my mark that I need to chisel it out. One other thing I want to do, I don't want to, when I'm chopping this off, I don't want to chop into my bench. So, it's getting hard to find a scrap piece of wood around here. Now I'm just thinking as I'm cutting this, if this chips out and it doesn't split straight, which it won't, you know that won't happen, then this is the part of the stringer that's going to be facing down. So I'm going to turn my stringer around this way, and we're going to chip it out on this side. Okay, so there you have it. Now we should be able to dress this up a little bit. This part doesn't have to be like super decent in here, but yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, I'm going to cut the rest of them, and if I have that much success with the rest of them, I'll be a happy camper. All right, I'm near finished cutting these out, and I've discovered an improvement to the process of cutting these lines. I'm going to use my square, my speed square, to put it on the edge here to help make sure I cut the line square. Plus, I was finding it's easier to adjust the square to get the saw to line up on the mark. So that worked pretty good, I thought. So like right there, I think I'm lined up and I'm square, so I'll start, and if it's not right, I can make little fine adjustments and make the cut closer to where I want it. So yeah, another good use for a speed square, eh? All right, so all the cuts are made. Now I just have to roll it over on the side and chisel these blocks out. All right, just finishing up this little bit of roughness in the middle of this guy. Okay, we're going to take it now and just try and fit it, see how it works out. So wish me luck. Put a couple of pieces of 2x4 along the floor here because that's the height I want the stringer to set at. Now we're going to check and see how accurate I made my cuts. You know what? I can hit this with the maul and it'll fit. So that's what I'm going to do. There you go, eh? Before anything else happens, I'm going to put some screws to this. And now this one at the end, it really wasn't as square as I wanted it to be, but it's pretty good there now. I'm glad I got that changed around because now I can fit the broom under there. It's going to be slick. So to finish off the face here of the cabinet, I need to put a face piece in here to bring this out level with the stringers at the top and the bottom. So I cut a piece of 2x4 down. This is going to go right in here. I pre-drilled some holes because the wood is so dry. So that fills that in. So now I have a nice flat, smooth, plain face here. Because I'm getting ready to use the table saw, look what I did. I emptied off the top of the saw and I put everything that was on the saw on top of the bench. So my beautiful empty bench is full again. Alright, so I was out here today doing a little bit of work, and I took a piece of the old ranch wall that came off the wall from behind where the bench was before I moved it. And of course I saved those pieces, so I cut that up and put it on there. So I'll get a coat of paint on that next time I'm in the mood for painting. If that ever happens again, I don't know. And then I spent some time also putting these front edge pieces on all the openings under the bench. I've been spending a lot of time trying to come up with a design to make the best use of the underside of the bench here. I'm still not convinced that my plan is going to be what it's going to end up looking like, but I need something to start with, so I made a plan. Oh, by the way, this is what I come up with. If you can see that, kind of hard to see it because it's only in pencil, but I'll just kind of run over the highlights of it. So I'm thinking I'd like to have a filing cabinet drawer here right next to my workstation. In this section here, I'm going to divide it in half. So the bottom half on this side is going to be filing cabinet drawer, and then a medium depth drawer, and then just a thin drawer up here to put pencils and rulers and, you know, paper, things like that, in stationary items. So, and I'm thinking that way because if I'm sitting here at the computer, I can just slide this drawer open and all that stuff will be here for me to access. So I think that would work good. I'd like to, on this side, put two deep drawers, maybe like it's 25.5 inches high, so 12 3/4 inch, a couple of 12 3/4 inch deep drawers. But instead of putting drawer fronts on them, I'll put a cupboard on it. So the drawer themselves, the sides on the drawer might only be 4 or 6 inches high, but they'll slide in here and then a cupboard door will close over it. Because I'll have a partition here and the cupboard door can close against that. So I think I got this cubby figured out. The rest of them, stay tuned because I'm not exactly sure. So what I'm going to use for drawer slides are these full extension sliders like I used on the mechanical side of the shop. But these sliders have to be secured at the front and the back to secure the load of the drawer. So that means I need to put a vertical piece in the middle here. So I just finished cutting these rabbets here, just trimming them up. So this piece is going to be the front upright. Let's go try and install it. So I have my spacer in here. So we can just put the screw in here, I think. We're getting ready to put our dividers in here, so I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out how deep I wanted this file cabinet drawer. So I allowed myself 12.5 inches here, so I made two spacers. And the reason I made these spacers is I'd rather use spacers. See, they're easier to measure. And then once you measure them, you know, you don't have to worry about are you on the line or not. You just have to get down tight on top of it. And then I cut a couple of pieces of wood to fit there. And I kind of sanded the front of them because that's going to be the front of this part is going to be shown. Then I put some pocket holes in them because we're using pocket holes again. So we're going to set these in here. All right, so that's that one. So two deep drawers in here with a cupboard on it, and just regular doors in here, filing cabinet at the bottom, mid-sized drawer, and then a stationary drawer up here. So this is sort of the technique I've been using to lay out the drawer fronts, the openings for the drawers. I just cut spacers to go on either side of the opening. That way when I put the horizontal piece in, I know that it's going in level, true, and square. I did that with the rest of the openings. It seemed to work quite well. I put pocket hole screws in either end of the piece. When I put it in there, I secure it with pocket screws. Also, for the most part, I've been trying to use 2x4 to do these separators, but I ran out of scraps of 2x4. So this is just a piece of 1x2 I have here. So that's what I'm using. Well, 2x1, I guess is the correct technical name for it. And also I wanted to face off the front so I have a nice square edge for the drawer opening. So I just sort of shaved the front off of that. I also put pocket hole screws in them all. I'm securing them all with pocket holes. So now this piece has got a bad little knot mark in it right there, so I'm going to turn that over and put that on the bottom. So this piece is going to go in something like so. And then secure it with some screws. So no glue or anything. I don't think I need it. And I'm using my old NiCad battery drill because on the rigid drill, the lithium-ion batteries died on me, both of them. So there we have it. The bench is all framed out. So what I ended up with is, as you see here, 3 drawers, a deep one here for files, then a mid-size, and then a top drawer just for stationery. 2 deep drawers that I'm going to have a cupboard on. This is going to be a vertical one for storing like pieces of glass and things like that, and it'll be just a slide out drawer. This will be 3 drawers here. This is going to be 2 deep drawers with a cupboard that closes on them. This will be a bottom drawer here to hold the thickness planer and the jigsaw, and just a thin drawer at the top. But I'll also have double doors on that, sorry, to open up, and then kind of a deep drawer at the bottom here, and then 2 mid-sized ones, but they'll just have regular drawer fronts on them. So there, the bench is framed out for 16 drawers. That's a lot of drawers, eh? But can't have too many drawers, I don't think. No such thing. Also, the drawers are going to be extra special because they have these full extension sliders that I'll be using. They hold up to 150 pounds, and they'll give full access to the drawer front and back. It's going to be nice. So that's it. I appreciate you watching. It was a lot of time, a lot of fussing, getting all this laid out, especially for me at least, designing what I was going to do, where I was going to put it, how I was going to put it. I hope this all works out. But we'll see you in the next video, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a great week wherever you are, folks. Thumbs up me, leave me some comments, and we'll talk to you soon.